Hello. Thank you for joining me. If you don't know me, my name's Archie Sandel. Um, I am a photographer based in Toronto, and I just wanted to start this channel and start making these videos where I can kind of just rant about stuff, predominantly the photo industry, because I find that when I start talking about it, I have a lot to say. And if I talk with people about it, I have a conversation, but I end up rambling and ranting for so long that I feel like maybe if I rant and ramble on a video, then I can maybe be a little more conversationalist when I'm actually speaking instead of rambling on, because I do talk too much. Okay, first point. Um, and also just to get it out there, because I have so many questions and maybe so many opinions about the industry, which I'm very new to as well. I'm barely even full time, trying to get full time. So, sometimes I feel like maybe I don't, maybe I'm not even valid. Maybe my opinions aren't even valid, to be honest, because I'm younger. But I think they're still worth asking from someone who is hopefully gonna be in the industry for many years. Because it's one thing to, I think, get an opinion from someone who has been in the industry for 30, 40 years, but they're on the back end of it now, and they're not dealing with the new things that are coming into it. They're not dealing with all the AI and, like even just the amount of photographers that are out there, which I'm not against. I think that's a great thing. I think if you want to consider art or photography as an art, then art is for everyone. Photography is for everyone, 100%. And if you're worried about less jobs because of the amount of photographers, then you got to up your skill level, because you shouldn't be worried about other people if you're good enough. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes maybe that's not true, but in most things, if you're better than the next person, or at least strive to be the best, then you will land the jobs, because people see that. But anyway, the first thing I wanted to talk about really was mainly, and again, this may be a bit more specific towards Toronto, but how boring the industry has become. And again, please take all of my opinions and questions with a grain of salt, because I'm not like ingrained 20 years into the industry like that, but I'm still seeing it, and I'm seeing it every day, and I'm seeing what is going on. And it just seems like, I don't know, to me it feels like everything that is being produced is like, this is perfect, clean, this is gonna make us money, and we're gonna sell, we're just gonna keep selling and selling and selling, and then we're gonna replace it in 6 weeks with a new one, and no one's gonna remember, but it doesn't matter, because we got a fresh one, and we're just gonna go boom, 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 because we are in a TikTok age of, we're trying to see stuff quick and we forget stuff. But then it's just, everything seems so boring. When I was taught photography, I was taught about beautiful lighting, and you're taught about composition, and you can break these things 100%. I break them all the time. I light stuff that just doesn't really make sense. Like, you shouldn't really light it like that. There's too much shadow, or whatever it may be. Say like the rule of thirds. Like, so if there's things, when you know how to break them, you can break them. But then it's like, all I'm really seeing a lot in the industry now is like, and not all the time, but a lot of the time, especially out of the fashion world, is just a lot of flat images. Like, everything is so open, so bright, so like, there's no direction to the light. Everything is very clean, super polished. And then maybe this does come down to like my own personal preference as a person, because there's certain movies that I would watch versus someone else. Or there's certain media I ingest than someone else, and there's certain things I prefer. Maybe it's because I'm a gamer as well, that I want more dramatic stuff or more cinematic stuff. But it just seems to me that, like, we all loved advertisement back in the 2000s and the 90s and, you know, the 80s. Maybe before that, it was a little bit more toned down because you couldn't be as open and wild and crazy. But I just feel like there's books that are coming out now that are like advertisements from the early 2000s, designed from the 90s. But are we even going to get a book of advertising from the you know, the 2020s, because everything's so flat, you know? And I'm not going to ever give any examples because I don't want anyone's work or ideas to be put on display as something to be like, I don't like this. Because I think everyone is doing their best right now to make their money and survive. And in that regard, I give no flack. Like, I'm not judging anyone's work or what they're doing, because it's like, this is what you have to do. If there's anyone to judge, maybe it would be the people who are, you know, the brands that are ideating these I don't know if is that a word? I don't know. I have a sip of coffee quick. I got my head jog mug. It's the people that are having these brands that are like just not having anything interesting in the work anymore. And I was talking to my friend a few weeks ago, and we were just talking about old advertisement. And I remember seeing these PS2 ads, or just even PlayStation ads in general. He said they were like created by David Lynch, which I hadn't actually looked if that's true, but, you know, for the time being, I believe him because he's very trustworthy. And it was like that. There's the one, and it's like the buttons of the PlayStation are like underneath the person's skin, and like just weird stuff, cool stuff that really makes you stop in the street. But can you tell me the last time an advertisement has made you stop in the street that wasn't something funny? Because something funny, we haven't lost the comedy in a lot of advertisement, especially in Toronto. I don't think there's still ads that are kind of trying to be funny or be witty or be catchy. But nothing is striking anymore. I find nothing stops me and I go, wow, that's beautiful. And is that maybe, like, even fashion, to be honest, is still in the same sort of bubble of like everything is very just, I don't want to say flat, but just, you know, it is kind of like, a lot of it is kind of, in Toronto at least. I know Montreal has a little more experimental sort of stuff, and similar to, like, they're a little more like New York and London and everywhere. But then it's, I don't know. And again, I'm just ranting, like I'm really just questioning these things, and I just want to like get it out of my head because I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm thinking like there's these beautiful, I don't know, it's like I see even like video ads, and I'm like, why is there nothing anymore that's like, everything is so, looks like lifestyle stuff where the lighting is just like a window light, and it's like, is there no like, I don't know, maybe they don't get like film directors to direct stuff anymore. Maybe it's people who just direct ads that do it. But I mean, and again, I could be wrong. I don't really know a lot about the video world, but even in that sense, I see like no one's doing anything like very striking anymore. And is that, again, just to do with me not like just wanting to see everything cinematic? Maybe some people just don't care about that. They don't want to see things being cinematic. It doesn't matter as much to them. But then it's like, it just feels to me like it's just about selling stuff and producing something that's just open, and everyone's going to be okay with it because it's just simple, it's clean, it's polished. It's not something that some people might not like that because it's not really their thing. But it's that, then I think that you're almost trying to appease everyone with the work to make sure everyone likes this, the look of this ad, where it's like, but then you're not getting that like that visual that like draws people in anymore. And I don't know. And is that something now? I see it a lot more with the younger people. There's a lot, especially with the video ad world, there's a lot of younger guys and girls coming out and just being like a bit more, I don't know, a bit more experimental and a bit more like they're shooting on like 16 millimeter and maybe things that are pretty inconvenient and you wouldn't do it in Toronto because it costs a lot. It's a big risk, but just the look of stuff, like things are looking a lot more, I guess, interesting now. You know, there's just, I don't know. It's like, where did we lose that drive to create worlds, I guess, like create a world? Because, and maybe sometimes you don't need a world. If it's an insurance ad, you don't need to create a world with it, but you would draw people in a little bit more. If I see a Auto Trader ad, I'm never drawn into it. Whereas like, imagine you got, what's his name? Gregory Crutzen to do, I know that's like ridiculous, too expensive. Imagine he did an Auto Trader ad and like he has that one image where he's like being abducted by the alien. The girl's like, there's like a light on her, like it's aliens or whatever. Well, imagine like the car is being brought up by aliens, and it's like that's the ad. It's like, you know, it's like full coverage for whatever might happen. Just like something so ridiculous and funny and cool. And that's not even necessarily something that would have to be done by someone like Gregory Crutzen. It's just like something you could use as a reference. But we don't use, it's like we don't use references like that anymore. All we're referring to is the thing that happened, someone shot last year. You know, there's no reference within. And even if people do refer to stuff from before, like they're just not, a lot of the time, not doing it justice. Maybe I'm just sounding like a hater, but I don't want to sound like a hater because I want everyone. And the problem for me is that I see a lot of incredible photographers in Toronto. A city that, you know, is so artistic, so many artistic people. But I feel like a lot of the brand work that is being given to them is just dimming the, not, you know, and again, I don't want to sound negative, but these people could create stuff that is incredible. But the briefs they're being given is just not opening them up enough to be able to create these incredible, striking things that people want to see. And maybe is it just me that wants to see that? Is it just me that thinks the industry is boring and we need to bring back some interest into it? I mean, I wasn't around in Toronto in the 90s, but from what everyone says about how amazing it was and how cool and kind of indie it was, well, like what happened now? Because all I see is like, you know, all the ads look like they just, nothing's going on with them. Like the ads I see on you know, in Kensington are not ads that I think I should see in Kensington. They're boring. They're ads I should see in like the financial district where people don't really care. They're not trying to see this like super cinematic or, you know, crazy lighting on a photo, or I don't know. But anyway, I should probably end it there. That should probably be the first video. And these are all just questions, really, that I want to get out of my brain and see if anyone else out there is like, you know, has some sort of opinion. But yeah, I just, at the end of the day, I feel like we've lost a lot of the fun and joy and interest within the photo commercial space, whether it be fashion. Fashion has maintained it a bit because it's fashion and you can be experimental. But I think I think that's the only reason why they still do it in fashion, because fashion is the only place where a lot of the time you have to be very outgoing and things have to be interesting with like bigger brands. But yeah, with just within the advertising space for anything else, there's not really anything being shot that's like, that blows me away. And it could blow me away because, like I say, the people in Toronto photographing right now are some incredible people. And we could create stuff that draws people to Toronto. Everyone says, well, you know, the photo scene is bigger here, bigger here, bigger here. Well, it could be bigger here, but you're not taking the risk. You're not taking the interesting reference. You're just shooting something that you can just create and go boom, boom, boom. And we can just print these prints out every 6 weeks because it's simple. It's easy, you know, and we can just get any photographer to do it because it's, you know, it's just, I don't know. And again, whatever, I may be wrong, but that's just what I wanted to talk about. But anyway, I am sure no one made it to the end of the video, but if anyone's here, Thanks for watching. I'm just gonna rant about stuff. It feels good to rant about stuff. So anyway, appreciate it. If you have any opinions on the matter, drop them down below, I guess. But yeah, anyway, again, don't take my opinions too to heart because I'm young. I'm just trying to voice what I see. And maybe this is all just because I have a different interest than someone else, or not everyone else, but other people, right? There's obviously other people that probably feel the same way. And maybe I just don't understand anything. So we'll see, I guess. Anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.